Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Road Warriors. This is from Ringside Collectibles. This is their exclusive toy line called Unsanctioned Classic Legends. Very, very excited to finally have these guys in my collection. When you want to talk about a holy grail, some figures that you are finally able to snag, this is that for me with the Road Warriors. Quick story. There was a guy that I used to be subscribed to. I don't know if he does any content anymore. His videos he would do like every once in a while. He was never like too much of a regular uploader. But his name was the guy with the gloves, and he showed his wrestling collection in this was like years ago. He showed his wrestling collection, and I had already started my wrestling collection, and I had quite a few at the time. But because of the time that I started, I missed out on a lot of characters that he had. And I just remember like looking at his collection and being like, oh, this is so sweet. But he was also like kind of like a Legends collector like myself. He did have a few current wrestlers at the time. I remember seeing like a Roman Reigns in his collection and like a Daniel Bryan. But for the most part, he collected the Legends, and he showed his collection, and it was all of like the 80s and 90s, and I think that was mainly like it. I don't even know if it was really any Attitude Era. I think it was mainly showing like the 80s and 90s wrestlers, and I remember him having the Bushwhackers, and at the time that was like the only Bushwhackers that I think they made, and he had the Road Warriors when Mattel made the Road Warriors all those years ago. And I was looking at that and I was like, man, every time I look at like trying to find the Road Warriors online, they're expensive, like hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not doing that. So Ringside Collectibles and making this line and having these figures, be released is just I've been excited about this. Now I don't know why it took me so long to get these. I should have gotten these when they first came out. But yes, I ended up getting the gray variant. They do have like what we're typically used to seeing them in, the black and red shoulder pads. But look, this was what they had available. This was all that mattered. The figures are the same, regardless. These look stunning, man. These figures are really cool. So real quick, they do come with multiple hands. We're not going to get all into all of that. I actually changed for them both to have their fist hands on, but what's more important, because these face sculpts are great, is like kind of have their entrance look. Got Hawk sticking the tongue out like he would do during their entrance. So these face sculpts are more for like their entrance, in my opinion. So because they're going to be on my shelf or in the ring, I put on their more stoic looks. So let's take a closer look at the tag team right here. Legion of Doom, man. Listen, the Road Warriors are, a big part of WWF history, and I gotta say, man, like I was just talking about, like I needed these guys in my collection. I was just sitting here waiting for the day that maybe Mattel could get another deal to use their likeness and all of this stuff. And this is it, man. This is it. Let's take these shoulder pads off. They do have a different body too. It's slightly, but they do have different details on their body, and I'll get into that. But look at the detail in the shoulder pads, man. These are phenomenal, man. Great stuff. Again, these are not Mattel, but they do fit in with your Mattel figures. And I will do some side-by-side comparisons. But let's take a look at these. As you can see, the torso for both wrestlers are different. You can see that the chest is a little bit different. The abdominal area has a different sculpt. And I swear, man, like like the way that they sculpted, like specific, both of them are actually sculpted like pretty perfect in my opinion. But like if you look at Hawk, like that looks like his shoulders and arms, and you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's something about this that it really, really looks like Hawk. It really, really looks like Hawk, just like the body, like you know what I mean? And it's not too different from Animal, but it's those subtle differences, and it really does make a difference. Um, but yeah, man, I'm very, very, very happy to have these. These are badass. Badass, man. I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons, this right here is one of the reasons why I've pretty much almost gone exclusively to just collecting wrestling figures. I said in a video, I think a while back, I've already kind of reached my limit on a lot of other toy lines for a while now. You know what I mean? Like when it came to the Marvel Legends, I just wanted to collect all of the 90s X-Men cartoon stuff. Um, NECA, I I still get things from NECA every once in a while. Like I feel like I get a NECA, like maybe one or two NECA a year, and that's not an exaggeration. I probably get like one or two a year because after they came out with the Ninja Turtle, the 1990s Ninja Turtle stuff, the movie from the movie, um, I got those, and I was pretty much satisfied with that. But their prices got higher over time, and there's a lot of NECA figures where I just don't feel like their prices are worth it. I have a lot of DC McFarlane multiverse stuff, and I've reached my peak with that. You know what I mean? I noticed that a lot of the times I go to the store, nothing piques the last thing that actually piqued my interest when it came to McFarlane was the Mr. Terrific, and it has like the soft goods jacket. But other than that, I just been okay. I just kind of reached my limit. But with these wrestling figures, man, look, we are starting to get so many figures that I missed out on, and I'm so happy about it. Again, I know that these aren't Mattel, but still, I missed out on the Legion of Doom before, and for them to have that chance to be able to have them in the collection, you can't beat that. The Bushwhackers, right? Like having the Bushwhackers also was just crazy. I was so happy when they came out with these guys again because I missed out on the first set that they released with the Bushwhackers. So, you know, this stuff is like, you know, I'm very happy that this is starting to happen now. Let's see. Let's move these guys back. I'm just gonna show some tag teams that I was actually able to I mean, the rest of them I've had for a while now, excuse me. Rest of the figures that I've had for a while now, but these are like tag teams that I was actually like happy to get. Now these were also a re-release with the Natural Disasters. I missed out on the first now I do have their solo gimmicks, you know. I have Tugboat, I have Earthquake, but I didn't have them as the Natural Disasters. Didn't have Typhoon and Earthquake in this red and black. So I was finally able to get that because they re-released that sometime like a year or two ago. And then the Head Shrinkers. This love that they made these. You know what I mean? Like all of this, big part of my childhood, man. Especially the Head Shrinkers and the Road Warriors, man. Like very happy that they came out with these. And then last, but certainly not least, let's take the Head Shrinkers out of the ring. Last but certainly not least, the Steiner Brothers. Steiner Brothers, Ultimate Edition Steiner Brothers, might I add. So it's so nice to be able to get these figures. As a matter of fact, these guys are the star of the show today. So let's have them out in the forefront. Then we'll put Steiner Brothers here. All right. So yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's bring Bring the head shrinkers back in there. So yeah, these are the teams that I was glad that they actually like, were able to make and release, and just these are badass, right? Uh let's see. Um yeah. I had a I don't know what happened to me. All right. Lost my train of thought. Anyways. But why I'm bringing all of this up is there's other figures that I missed out on that are way too expensive online now. If you try to get, like, people are insane. But Kerry Von Erich, Texas Tornado. Mattel made a version of him years ago, right? In the early waves of the Mattel line. And that we haven't had one since. Now they do have a Kerry Von Erich coming out in the big rubber guys, but I need a Kerry Von Erich in the 6-inch figure form, fully articulated. And I want it to be the Texas Tornado look. I really do. We need that Texas Tornado, man. I'm just saying. We need Rick Martel, right? I mean, Rick Martel has had some issues with WWE over the years, but we finally got King Kong Bundy. So if we can get King Kong Bundy, which I'm very excited about, and we got Jesse the Body Ventura coming out as well. I'm holding out hope because there's a big rubber guys, Rick Martel coming out as well. And so I'm just hoping, like, look, man, if we got a King Kong Bundy coming out finally, anything is possible. So yeah, what's a Texas Tornado, a Rick Martel, which they did have a Rick Martel before too. That's going for way too much online. Gosh, I mean, we got Coco Beware coming out. We got a new Tito Santana coming out. The only Tito Santana I got is the original one that when he was teamed with Rick Martel with the white gear or whatever. All right, and that sucks too because we don't have like that version of Rick Martel. So it is what it is. Let's see what else. I mean, it's just a big mix of like stuff that's finally coming out. So it's like you never give up hope, man, because Mattel and WWE, they find a way to get these guys, signed to where they can, get action figures made from them. Like a Coco Beware. I've been waiting for a Coco Beware forever. So this is just really exciting, right? Like having a Coco Beware is just as good as like when they made Junkyard Dog. That's why I have both Junkyard Dogs that they made, because I was like, dude, like you really have to get a Junkyard Dog in your collection, man. It's just the same way I needed the Road Warriors in my collection, man. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. These are badass, man. I really do love these figs. So yeah, I'm very happy that they came out with these. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys feel in the comments section. It's your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.